Anyhow, this week, if you look, you know, however this is the other method of looking at the book. But anyhow, you'll notice that there's no information for the five IFRS, right? So since there's no information for IFRS, let's go ahead and put some PowerPoints together to discuss the IFRS stuff. So there's some questions that IFRS ask, and they're in the, you gotta kind of find them in the textbook. But here's the first question that they ask us: IFRS, an entity should initially recognize inventory when all of these are important. When, right? So when it provides future economic benefit, does the company have control of the inventory? Can the cost of inventory be measured? Well, all of those are important. So those are all important under IFRS. With respect to accounting for inventories, which the following is a difference that exists between IFRS and GAAP? Well, IFRS requires the recognition of certain development cost, right? This is different from how GAAP approaches this. Under IFRS, which of the following would be included in the cost of inventories? Of the stuff discussed, designer costs are included in inventory too. So I would assume that would be when you're designing the inventory that you're going to sell. Which of the following best describes the IFRS requirement for applying the same cost formula to all these inventories? Well, when you in other words, what kind of cost method should you use for inventory? You know, we can't use LIFO. Should you use average cost, dollar costing, you can use FIFO. There's different methods you can use. We only talked about in depth about 3, but there's different methods you can use for valuing your inventory. Which one do you use? Well, the nature of the inventory, what kind of stuff you're selling, is important, and that's what matters. So is this the kind of stuff that would be needs to be sold in a certain way? In other words, as time goes by, this stuff becomes more valuable, or is it something that as time goes by it becomes less valuable? Is it kind of inventory that, for example, could become obsolete, like technology? Those are that kind of questions that we're talking about when we talk about the nature of the inventory. And when you look at the nature of the inventory, that should be what helps managers determine what method to use. And this is similar to GAAP. This should be the way things are done anyways. Under IFRS, inventories are classified as, and inventories are classified the same as GAAP and IFRS, right? These are assets. And that's all that I want to have, so there you go.